Stocks our strategists feel are poised to deliver positive returns are featured now in their top stock picks of the week.
I'm going solo to do the last top stock picks of the week for 2019 here at Zacks. And I've brought two great Zacks #1 strong buy stocks. We might as well go out the year with a bang and look at what could be the big movers into 2020. So that means the Zacks #1 ranks. And I brought a couple interesting stocks. They're both momentum stocks right now, but they have the underlying fundamentals and they have those rising earnings estimates that we like to see. So what are they? Let's dive right in. The first one is on the healthcare side, and it is one of the top stocks in the healthcare sector of the last, I would say, 2 to 3 years, as you can see from this chart. Edwards Lifesciences, ticker EW. Now, this is depicting the earnings growth we've seen over the last 5 years and what analysts expect to see in 20 and 21, and it's pretty much consistent double-digit growth here. This is basically the ideal you want to see on this price and consensus chart. And Edwards Lifesciences just keeps performing. Let's look at what the actual earnings estimates look like for this coming year, because you can see here 2019, they're starting to edge a little bit higher as we close out the year, and 2020, the same thing, starting to inch up a bit. We had one estimate revised just in the last week that's ahead of the next earnings report, and when we'll most likely get an update again on 2020 and what the outlook looks like for there. Now, these shares are not cheap by any means. They're trading at 42 times. Shares are up 59% this year and a 2-year return over 100%, but they have double-digit sales growth still expected to go into 2020 and hopefully beyond. So you are actually paying for this earnings growth. Now, Edwards Lifesciences is on the heart side, and they've been the leader in the heart innovation for heart treatments, including the valves. So if you're looking for a healthcare stock that has the momentum, it's got the rising earnings estimates, and the Zacks #1 rank, Edwards should be high on your list. And then we're going to switch over to the area that turned out to be hot in 2019 that maybe most people thought would not be going into the year. This is the home builders. PulteGroup, also a Zacks #1 rank strong buy. And as you can see, its price to consensus chart isn't as beautiful as Edwards Lifesciences. And it had what you see there are analyst estimates on the decline for 2020. They're in 2018, right when the Fed was raising interest rates, the housing market stalled, the shares fell, and the analysts started revising what they saw going into the future. But then in 2019, this is when you don't know what necessarily is going to happen. The Fed started to cut again. And so those analyst estimates have been on the rise, along with Pulte's sales growth and orders are still really bouncing back to health, with those mortgage rates back down to nearly all-time lows. So you can see the forward look here is looking a little bit better. Again, not quite as pretty as Edwards, but for an area that is very dependent on the Fed, this is a good chart to see. And as you can see, those shares also breaking out there. These shares up 49% year-to-date, beating the S&P 500, and obviously at 5-year highs here. If we take a look at the individual estimates here, these are doing the similar thing that Edwards Lifesciences are. They're starting to creep up a little bit here. 2019, almost basically in the book, but you see a little bit of creep there. 2020, same thing, nice, nearly 10% earnings growth expected for 2020 here. And we'll be hearing from them at the end of January. PulteGroup, however, because the shares have been down on their luck for a little while there, is much cheaper, trading at 11 times earnings only. So you are getting a value stock with a little bit of a growth component now coming in, as long as these rates remain low and the job market remains strong. PulteGroup is going to see positive things going forward because the economy is quite strong. So these are just a few of the Zacks #1 ranks. We have over 200 stocks, every day on the list of Zacks #1 ranked strong buys. We bring you just a couple of them every week here, the best of the best. So be sure to tune in 2020 every week for some more top stock picks. And Happy New Year and happy investing.